Alright, Trekkies and Trekkers, time for the final episode of Review of the Day, which is Profit Motive. A young woman named Emmy is grabbing Quark's face from behind, presumably giving him or leading up to Umox, as he is obviously enjoying the experience. She's attempting to get Quark to finalize a deal whereby she'll purchase self-sealing stem bolts from him, but he says it can wait since Emmy's family will not return to Deep Space Nine for another week. Robert escorts Quark's quarters and ruins the party, telling his brother that they need to leave. However, it is too late. Grinding Gazek and his servant Merhadu enters behind Rom moments later. Merhadu gestures Emmy to leave Quark's quarters, and she promptly does. Although Zek's head is covered and Merhadu does not speak as usual, it seems to nag his plans to move in with Quark. Elsewhere on Deep Space Nine, Dr. Bashir is in the infirmary and is called to the wardroom by Commander Sisko. Rayon stations commander that, for his work in biomolecular replication, he has been nominated for the Carrington Award, the Federation's most prestigious medical award. The Fine Secretary senior staff waited for him to congratulate him on being the youngest nominee in the award's history. Despite the honor, he seems less enthusiastic, to everyone's surprise. He later confides to Dax, who submitted his name for consideration, that the Carrington Award honors a lifetime of achievement in the field of medicine, and as such, most people nominated are far older than he is. As a result, he knows he has no chance of winning due to his youth. Bashir excuses himself awkwardly shortly after. Meanwhile, Quark has moved to Rom's untidy quarters and is found living with his brother unbearable. Nog is visiting his grandmother in Ferengar, so the place is messier than usual. Quark is further angered that his Aldebaran whiskey and other items such as tables and chairs from the bar have been taken. He decides that the two of them, or rather Rom, will confront the Nagus to find out what is going on. As he soon observes that Zek is more than happy to see Rom, Quark comes out from his nearby hiding place and greets the Nagus. Quark and Rom find that the Zek has composed his crowning achievement, the Rules of Acquisition, revised for the modern Ferengi. Zek gives them a copy and leaves them to read it. Quark is excited until he reads the first rule in it. If they want their money back, give it to them. The two then notice Merhadu crying in the corner. Quark attempts to find some sort of master plan in Nagus' work, looking for a secret code hidden within the new rules. Here, I'm attempting to discover the code by reading one word from each page, which naturally translates as gibberish. But the two are hilariously unsuccessful. So, if the new rules are part of his scheme, he decides to go along with it for now. Later, Quark and Rom are in the bar when Zek arrives. Continuing to exhibit his vastly different new personality, Zek buys rounds of drinks for everyone, which will make them happy, and in turn will make him happy. Quark goes along with it and offers Zek Hyperion beetle snuff. However, he refuses, saying it's not fun for the beetles. Quark is then horrified to learn that Zek has told Emmy where she could buy self-sealing stem bolts at wholesale, much less than what he was offering. He says he was concerned she was taken advantage of. Quark walks off, and Rom expresses his surprise. Zek says it will take time to get used to the new ways, and asks Rom to walk with him. Meanwhile, Bashir and O'Brien are playing darts in the cargo bay, as they have been playing much too many racquetball games, 106 to be exact. They're both rusty, but wanting to play some game other than racquetball. To throw Bashir off, O'Brien starts talking about the Carrington competition. Bashir calmly says any of the others will make a fine recipient, and still does assert his worthiness. O'Brien continues his jabs, saying he would vote for Bashir, but then most other people would wonder who he is. Bashir then turns the tables, changes the conversation to Keiko's absence. Now O'Brien can't hit the board. Upon returning to his quarters that night, Quark finds Rom busy with several of Ferengi transforming the quarters. Rom says they'll be the new headquarters of the Ferengi Benevolent Association. Quark takes Rom into the other room by the ear, having enough of what's going on with Zek. Contrary to normal Ferengi values, the association seems to have been created for the same purpose that its name implies, helping other people free of charge. Rom says Zek is a visionary and that the both of them are going to be central to his plan. Rom is excited about becoming a new kind of Ferengi, though he's not sure what that means at the moment. He continues to repeat concepts incomprehensible to Quark, and tells him they are both co-chairmen of the association and will accompany Zek back to Ferengar when he announces to the whole Ferengi alliance. Now Quark is alarmed, and this will undoubtedly result in the three of them being killed by being pushed off the top of the Tower of Commerce for the ideas. Finally, Quark takes Zek to Bashir, who examines the elder Ferengi thoroughly but finds nothing wrong. Quark cannot believe it and insists on more tests. He was insulting him and bringing up the Carrington competition. He eventually relents, and Zek expresses his appreciation with a bar of platinum, suggesting to donate it to charity. Bashir does not want to accept it. Interestingly, Zek mentions that he will be giving a gift to the Bajoran people that night at the Bajoran shrine as a ceremony, and hopes Bashir attends. He leaves, telling Quark there's a lot of needy people out there. Quark and Rom head onto the Negas's Zek's personal shuttle to find out what the gift is. They're interrupted by Mihardu, but instead he brings him into the shuttle. He reveals that the gift is a Bajoran orb. Quark tries to get some answers, but Mihardu cannot say because of his vow of silence. Rom tries to look inside the orb box, but Quark tries to wrestle it from him instead. Now it comes up in Quark's direction. He has an odd orb experience in which he's taunted by Zek's figure about not understanding and being fearful. Afterwards, Quark learns that the New Worlds were a gift from the Bajoran prophets to Zek. He and Rom discover through Zek's personal logs that as soon as he received the orb from his contact on Cardassia 3, Zek headed for the Bajoran wormhole, apparently intent on using the prophet's ability to see the future for financial gain. Quark determines to go in himself and find out what happened. Meanwhile, at the Replomat, Bashir is busy on a pad. Ibn Odo is caught in the craze by the Carrington, and so comes out for a revelation from a distant wide contact that Wade will not win the award, increasing the odds for the rest. Despite the fact that he's apparently not going to win, Odo manages to get Bashir to accidentally admit he's been working on an acceptance speech. Zek is at a terminal talking about who needs colosine and barley and is going out of his way to acquire some. He gets off the transmission when Mihardu, Quark, and Rom come in, quickly kidnapping Zek and taking him into the wormhole aboard his ship. Their third deal, oddly, remains extremely pleasant, not disturbed at all. Once inside the wormhole, Quark opens the Orb of Wisdom, as Zek reveals it is called, instantly gaining the wormhole alien's attention. They inform Quark that they found Zek's goals to be adversarial and aggressive. As a result, they restored Zek to a more peaceful state. Quark demands that they change Zek back, but aliens decide to change him as well. However, Quark manages to convince them that doing so will only bring more Ferengi who will want to know what happened. He proposes that they change Zek back, they won't have to speak with his people again. The prophets agree and set Zek back to normal. Quark is very pleased when Zek states that he plans to sell the Orb of Wisdom to the Bajorans, and intends to make them pay a lot for it. In the wardroom, people have gathered for the announcement of the Carrington Award recipient, everyone disappointed to find it's gone to Henry Roget, someone who was never considered a serious contender. Though Bashir acts like he's not surprised. He admits to Dax, even though he felt he wasn't going to win, he's still disappointed he didn't. Zek leaves the station, making sure that Quark and Rom destroy every last copy of the New Worlds of Acquisition, and will tell no one that he donated to charity. Quark laments this by going through a lot. He didn't manage to make some kind of profit. Rom admits to having made enough from a profit from both of them by embezzling from the Negus. Quark congratulates him and says that this piece of theft would make their father proud. Nice. So let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. William N. Stape, who concocted the TNG episode Homeward, was an uncredited story source for this episode. Reference Rules Acquisition number 10, Greed is Eternal. For a brief time, a new set of rules of acquisition replaces the old ones. Some new rules are, if they want their money back, give it to them. Greed is dead. Never place profit before friendship. Let him tarnishes, but family is forever. Money can never replace dignity. A good deed is its own reward. Bashir is the youngest of the candidates for the Character Prize at 2371. There are several others: April Wade, Senva, Henry Roget, and G. Petrel. After the pilot episode Emissary, this is only the second time we have seen the wormhole aliens / prophets. They became far more important throughout the 6 and 7 seasons. When Cisco Alien says that Zek was trying to find out who wins the game before the game begins, it's a reference to the pilot episode Emissary, where Cisco teaches the aliens about linear time by using the example of a baseball game. This is the first episode where the wormhole aliens refer to Cisco as the Cisco. This is the only episode in which Tiny Ron, who plays Mihardu, speaks, albeit as a Mihardu alien version of the character. Carrick Lofton does not appear in this episode. So overall, I think that this episode is just okay. There's nothing really that too interesting about it personally, so yeah. So overall, I give Profit Motive 3 warp cores out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in next time as we take a look at the episode Visionary. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.